Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Trinidadi, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Outshine Film Festival launches unique protest over rainbow crosswalks. Outshine LGBTQ Film Festival is inviting South Florida's LGBTQ community to join it in a war for queer visibility. The film festival has been a beacon of queer visibility for over 2 decades, and this call for support comes amid a disturbing rise in attacks on rainbow crosswalks that are symbols of pride and solidarity that have recently been vandalized in the region. In the email, organizers stated, quote, "Outshine was born in a moment like this, a time when queer people were under attack, when visibility felt dangerous, when creating space for LGBTQ stories wasn't just bold, it was necessary, and that moment is back," end quote. Festival leaders warn of mounting political pressure, shrinking arts funding, and deliberate efforts to silence cultural spaces, including Outshine Film Festival. Outshine's mission remains clear, telling queer stories, creating safe spaces, and lighting up dark theaters with truth, laughter, tears, and pride. But sustaining that mission now requires renewed community investment. A new matching grant from the Wharton Foundation offers a chance to raise $100,000 to secure Outshine's future. The campaign recalls a pivotal moment 21 years ago when Patrick Ward's generosity helped raise $150,000 to save the festival, ensuring it would thrive for decades. Organizers stress that becoming a member or upgrading an existing membership directly strengthens LGBTQ visibility at a time of such uncertainty. The statement read, "They may try to erase our rainbow crosswalks, but they will never erase our shine. The future is full of uncertainty. Your support will help protect our outshine, so no matter what happens, we never have to cancel or go dark when our community needs us most." Outshine is facing severe attack, and as a nonprofit, it is in great need. The festival lost its executive director this summer. Sources close to the festival express that there is growing concern that this could be the last festival and not return in 2026 if there is not significant community support. A source close to the festival, who asked not to be named, told Queer News Tonight executive producer Al Ferguson, "There is great concern about the future of Outshine with the political nature we are seeing in Florida. Sponsorships are much more difficult because of the fear of association with LGBTQ organizations. The same is happening in arts funding grants to LGBTQ cultural arts organizations. The fall will be a make or break for this LGBTQ film festival in South Florida in 2026. The Fall Outshine Film Festival has never needed more support. It returns to Fort Lauderdale October 16th to 23rd and Miami October 24th to 26th. More information about the Wharton Donation Match membership and Producer Circle opportunities and festival tickets are available at outshinefilm.com. So sad to hear. You know, I did not realize I was gay until I started watching independent films when I was in high school and film festivals like this. I had the Sundance channel and the independent film channel back when we had those cheater boxes and we got it, for free. And I remember turning it on. I grew up very conservative Christian, evangelical, and I was watching some of these independent films with queer themes, and I started seeing myself. I lived in an area that I didn't see anything like that.
Sure.
And I started seeing like things that I was interested in that was appealing to me on a more visceral level that I couldn't really understand what was happening. But it really did help me to understand who I was and that I was gay, and it took me many years after that to actually fully come out, but it was laying the groundwork, and it was also showing and telling stories of what not to do, because in the early 90s, 2000s, a lot of these stories were tragic coming of age stories of what was going on and the depression and suicide and all of that stuff. And I remember watching that, and when I was starting to realize who I was, it kind of gave me a roadmap of what not to do, as well as some things to expect. So it's really important that we have art and film telling these stories and helping us process. There's so many men I know that didn't come out until they were in their 40s and 50s, and sometimes watching these stories, they realize who they are. So it's really important that we support the film festival, and it's a wonderful night out. I mean, if you're going to spend your money going out to a restaurant or going out to, some other form of entertainment, support these events. Like, I think you won't be disappointed.
Yeah. We forget because everything's so accessible, like with all the streaming and everything that you see online. But there is a very important place for independent film and these independent stories, and to have Outshine be under threat, like so many programs are and so many organizations are, because of a lack of funding. It is really important that you go out there and support. They showed our movie, with the movie that I was in, Big Easy Queens. We had our premiere, one of our premieres at the Outshine Film Festival right here in South Florida. And it's really an incredible organization, and they show a lot of important work. Ours is a little lighter than some of the other ones, but still, the fact that you can have the queer representation in a film festival, and it's right here in our own backyard in South Florida.
I think it's amazing as well. I grew up very conservative as well in Panama City, Florida, and that's like the Bible Belt. My mom's a Methodist minister, so I didn't see anything pertaining to gay till I probably was practically almost grown. Yeah. And so when I think about the Outshine Film Festival, the first time I ever came in contact with it was with my niece, who was 16 years old. And we went to one of the festivals and saw some of the shows, and it was really, really nice. And I just keep thinking like, wow, if I would have had this at 16, like she did, I would have known that it was okay to be me.
Yep.
So representation counts, and Outshine is vital to our community.
And with the legislation, especially in Florida, they're trying to silence our voices. So we need to stand up and show that, no, there is support for this, and that we're not going to back down.
Yeah.
That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.